And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we're going to be looting for treasure. And not just on our own means, but we're going to be stealing treasure from our pirate pollywag buddies on either side of us and stealing from the captain and being the lookout and being the cabin boy, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. We're talking about Dread Curse here. It's sort of a take that party game, 3 to 8 players. It's from Smirk and Dagger games, same people that brought you Cutthroat Caverns. Let's dive on in, I'll show you how it's played, and I'll see you on the other side. I just want to point out that this is probably the nicest feeling rule book I've ever had in my hands. It is that nice linen, which I'm trying to show you at this angle through the lighting. You can see the linen rule book. It feels like those linen cards, a little bit softer, obviously, lighter. But man, does this rule book feel good in your hands. Here's another look. If I get at the right angle with the light, you can see those crosshair linen type of thing, and it's very thick. It just feels really good. Amazing rule book. Awesome. In Dread Curse, we're going to be trying to get treasure and then get out of there before we get the black spot. Now to start the game, we got 8 people, so there's 8 coins here. These are going to get flipped over and everyone's randomly they're going to get shuffled and everyone's going to randomly take one. The black spot, there's 2 of them in the entire game. If you have the black spot at the end of the game, you can't win. So no matter how good you do with getting treasure, it's a press your luck element towards the end of the game that you want to get out with the treasure that you have without getting stuck with the black spot. So essentially, these are, at the beginning of the game, these are turned over, these are shuffled, and everybody randomly takes one. The person that ends up with the black spot is going to be the captain for the first turn. He would then take the captain card himself, then take all the rest of the rolls, shuffle them out, and deal them out randomly in the first round. It comes with this nice big phase order card. Essentially, what we do is we're going to draw coins, and we're going to steal, and we're going to pay Jacques, we're going to possibly cut and run, and then all hands on deck, and then repeat. Let's talk about drawing coins. Now we'll start looking at a little of these rolls here, a little layer at a time. Captain. Now look at the artwork also on these cards. They're oversized cards. Here's my hand. I mean, they're pretty big cards. They're almost like Dixit-sized cards, maybe even a little bigger. The awesome artwork. And in the draw phase, the captain's going to take 2, 3, or 4 coins. He can always take the most. That's one good thing about being a captain. It's good early in the game when you're getting a lot of coins. It's maybe not so good towards the end of the game when people might be putting the black spot back in the bag. So the captain can draw 2 or 3. Then the person who has the next card up, which is number 2, the first mate, will draw. He draws 1 less than the captain. So however many he drew, he gets 1 less. Then we'd go to number 3. Whoever took the pilot would draw 3, look at them, and keep 2. So that's pretty cool for the pilot. Bosun, number 4, gets to draw 2. The gunner, who's number 5, he'd go next. He could draw 1 or 2, and depending on that, he has a cheat later that I'll tell you about. We won't go too much detail yet. The cook, he can draw 2 and keep 1. The lookout gets to draw 1, and the cabin boy, he basically steals 1 from the captain instead of drawing 1. Once all that's done, the draw phase is done, and then we would go to the steal phase. Now when stealing, you can only steal by default 1 coin. You can steal by either player to the left or the right of you, or you can steal from the captain. Everybody can always steal from the captain or the person to the left and the right. In this case, the steal phase, the captain gets to steal an additional coin. So he can steal a second coin and it can be from a different person. Then the first mate would steal. Now, he can give a coin to an active player instead of stealing one. This is really good if you have a very bad coin, like a -5, there's only 1 of these in the game. Or if you have the black spot, it's really good to give it away, being the first mate. She gets to look up to 2 coins before deciding which to steal. Again, you can look, which allows her to make sure she's not getting the black spot or from the -5, and she can take 1 from one person and 1 from another, and then look at them and decide which one she wants. Bosun. He can draw a pirate's code card instead of stealing a coin. We're going to get into these cards in a minute, so don't pay too much attention. He can basically draw a card that gives him some special abilities. We'll talk about those in just a moment. The gunner. Now, he just gets to steal normal. We'll talk about his special ability later. He can steal 1. The cook, after stealing, may exchange 1 coin from his stash with a new one from the bag. So if he gets something bad, he can still, he can swap it out with something different. Now, he cannot be given a coin in the steal phase, the lookout. That's his sort of special cheat during the steal phase. And the Cabin Boy, he basically steals one from the captain during drawing, but during any phase he cannot be stolen from. So the Cabin Boy can never be stolen from. And then that would end the steal phase. Let's go talk about paying Jacques. Okay, when paying Jacques, everybody has the option to pay a coin of at least 2 and putting it face up and put it in this round's coins, and they would then draw a Pirate's Cove card. Now, if the lowest one you had is a 3, you'd have to pay it, and Jacques doesn't pay any change. So you'll see a bunch of coins being here for this round. Once this round's over, these coins will go over here to the previous round's coins, because they can change how some of these cards work. Now, what do these Pirate's Cove cards do? These Pirate's Cove cards basically allows you to break the rules of the game. Let's take a look at some of these. So we have these Pirate's Code cards. Now, they can be used in one or two ways. Let's take a close look at some of these. Strike and Accord. Steal phase. During the steal phase, steal a card instead of a coin this round. So these cards can be very powerful, so that's why you'd want to do it. Also, every one of these cards has a coin value. If you have these cards at the end of the game, that's how much coin they are. So they're always going to be worth something, even if you don't use them for their ability. Now this one, Fair Winds. During the draw phase, draw an extra coin. Pretty cool. This one is Caught Ye. And during the steal phase, cancel a pirate's steal this round. Boom, take that, buddy. Oh man, look at this one. All hands on deck. So we haven't talked about that phase yet, but after you win the captaincy, hand out the other crew assignments as you see fit. This is so that you can determine who is what role, which can really screw people over. And maybe with this one, a mutiny. Before draw or steal phase begins, you can throw this down and tell everybody hold on, and the current captain becomes the cabin boy. Then all players get the pirate one better in rank than they have. Now if you didn't use, since that's a very powerful card, if you don't use it at the end of the game, it's 5 coins. And that's pretty much what Paying Jacques does, and those are the cards you get. So now we're going to move down to the cut and run phase. Now in the bag of coins is about 150, close to 150 worth of coins. If you think you have enough to win the game, everyone basically, whether you think or not, if you think you're going to win the game and you want to cut and run, you're going to hold a coin like open, and you're going to close your fist like this. And then everyone's going to reveal at the same time. Anyone that has an open coin like this, they've cut and run and they leave the game, but they leave the game with all the money they have. Obviously you can't leave if you have the black spot, because if you have the black spot, you can't win the game. If you're staying in for another round, everybody goes like this. So everyone that has a coin like this is in, everyone has this is out. And that person will be out for the rest of the game because they think they have enough coin to win, and it's that press your luck element of deciding when to leave, because if you got a lot of coins and then you get the black spot, it's all over. Then we go to all hands on deck. This is when people are going to fight for being the captain again. You can turn, basically everyone's going to put 1 or 2 coins face down in front of them, so they know that that's their bid. Once everyone's done that, everyone's going to turn theirs over. Whoever has the largest amount is going to be captain. And then whoever has the second largest amount gets their next choice, all the way down to the person who did the least will get the last choice of which role they want to be next round. So it's sort of bidding for a role. Now, you don't lose the money, you keep it, but you're revealing how much money you may have. Someone might reveal a 5 like this and a 1, and someone might go, ooh, I gotta remember, I gotta steal from that guy next time. He's got a 5 in there. So it's an act of, you're trying to like balance how much do you really want to be high up in the bidding for which you want, versus how much do you want to reveal to other players. Now, if you're tied with somebody, you just basically reveal another coin and you keep going until the tiebreaker's gone. So then once all that's revealed, you get to keep this money at the end of this round, but then the highest gets the captain, and then the rest of the people in that order get to pick who they want, and that's the all hands on deck phase. So that's you'll continue to go through this phase order until one of two things happens. Either the last coin in this bag comes out, and when that happens, anybody that's holding the black spot automatically loses and they're out of the game. So once the last coin is out, that ends the game. Or if everybody who's cut and run, except one person left, will be there. Now, if there's only 2 people left and they both have the black spot, the game ends as well. But essentially, you're either going when the bag ends or until there's only 1 person left. Then the black spot people are out. They pretty much are out of the game. Everybody else counts up their coins and remembers if they haven't used any cards, you add those to your coins, and the one with the most is the winner. Now, there's a couple of these special abilities that don't have to do with draw or the steal phase. The gunner, if you only drew 1 during the draw phase, during the all hands on deck, when you're trying to reveal the coins to see who has captain, basically you get to swap one of your face-up coins with somebody else's. So you could reveal a 1, wait to see someone reveal a 5, and swap them. So you just gained $4, which is a huge move. So the gunner can be very tricky, very sneaky. The lookout, those Pirates Code cards cannot be played on this guy. And the cabin boy, he cannot be stolen from. So those are some of the extra special abilities in the game. All right, well, there is Dread Curse. So what do I think about it? Well,
I like the role selection of this. And some people that have played this says, hey, it kind of feels a little bit like Citadels. Of course, Citadels kind of put role selection on the map. So you have that role selection idea where you're trying to figure out, what do I need to get accomplished this round, and which role is the best one to do that. Usually there's like 1 or 2 roles that can kind of do the thing that you want. For example, if you get stuck with that black spot and you're trying to get rid of it, you could be the first mate and throw it in the bag. You give it to, so there's 2 roles usually that you can kind of get rid of coins if you need to. So it's interesting to try to figure that out. I found that when you play this game, it really takes like one time through with the people to really kind of understand what's going on, because you go through the different phases, you see how the different roles work, and it's not really until after the first time you totally play the game that you kind of like, oh, okay, that was a learning experience, now let's really play it. And so that's sort of how you feel this game. Don't expect people to get it right off the bat. It's not something I'll introduce to like non-gamers right away, because it just has that level of understanding what all the roles do, and they all do different things, and it can be a little confusing to someone who's not a gamer. But for gamers, what do you think? I think this is like, I would say, it's like a gamer-based party game. It's very similar to Cutthroat Caverns in that respect, where you get a bunch of guys or girls together that like to talk smack, like to have fun. It's a little light, but yet a little thinky, and you're playing Take That on You. Now those cards, man, those Pirates Cove cards, they do some nasty things. You want to get punched, you want to get spit on, you play those cards on your buddies, because it's going to be happening. There will be some fights when you throw these cards down. I was ready to cut and run. I cut and run. Someone played a card that said, you have to give all your cards and deal them out to all the other people. And I had like 10 gold in my cards. I was like, are you kidding me? It totally just made me that I had a cut and run, and I pretty much lost, and I just wanted to punch him. Do you blame me? So there's a lot of, which means it adds a lot of chaos. For me, it's a little too much chaotic it's a little too much chaos for my liking, I think. Not that Cutthroat Caverns didn't have chaos, because it definitely did, but it just seemed like, I don't know, maybe just an experiences I have with this game is it's very chaotic. But if you like games that are very sort of light, you like to, boom, mess with your opponents, take that, laugh, haha, this and that, and you don't mind it being a little chaotic, like you're up and down, you're up really high with a lot of money, then the next minute you got like none, or you got the black spot and you got 0. If you're okay with huge swings of being on top of the mountain and down to the bottom, and you don't mind that, then you're definitely going to want to check this one out. If you don't like a lot of chaos, and if you don't like huge swings and being first to last, then you might want to shy away from this one. But that's Dread Curse.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.